You're watching Chartbusters. I'm Mangla Malu. With me is Nigel D'Souza. For the markets, well, we're outperforming the Asian markets. The Nifty is underperforming, Nigel, but still holding up in the green.
Well, looking at the Asian markets, Manglam, in fact, all of them are trading in the red. So we're doing a relative outperformance, and this is the second day running. Because even in Monday's trading session, the Asian markets ended with sharp cuts, and we managed to pull back towards the end of the trading session. So good news that we are holding out in the green while all the other Asian markets are trading in the red. And in the last few minutes, the reason that the Nifty has moved back up is because a couple of heavyweights. Reliance Industries, that's moved higher. The other stock that's doing quite well right now is TCS. So both those two heavyweights, they are moving higher. Well, Manglam, but yesterday we had Britannia's numbers that came in the last couple of days. Tell us how you're reading the numbers and also some focus on the balance sheet.
Absolutely, some focus on the balance sheet. But before that, Nigel, you and I have eaten a lot of those Britannia biscuits. The cream is always in the middle, right? So this time around as well, the cream was in the middle, which was the EBITDA. Because, we saw Nestle's numbers. Out there, it was the gross margin pressure that the company posted. But out there, Britannia actually, managed to navigate through a higher cost, and the stock jumped on strong EBITDA. So despite this 5% up move that we're seeing on the stock, from the start of this year, if you take a look at all the consumer stocks on the Nifty, be it something like an Asian Paints, HUL, Nestle, as well as Titan, all of them have outperformed Britannia, and Britannia has been on the underperforming side. We have ITC and Britannia. ITC is down about 8% this year. So this time around, the weakness or the underperformance in Britannia came by not only on account of valuations, but also on account of the balance sheet issues. And this time we got the September balance sheet out there. Well, all things are not clean, but they're getting better. The first one, of course, the long-term borrowings, that has increased from about 26 lakhs to 721 crores. Mind you, these are not borrowings. The company had doled out bonus debentures worth 720 crores. So on the balance sheet, it is recognized as long-term debt. The short-term debt, a lot of people were wondering why the short-term debt has increased from 0 crores to about 500 odd crores. And that is where the company's cost-effective management or cost management lies, because they borrowed in the short term to buy some long positions in commodities going forward. And that is what protected them in a higher commodity cycle in this quarter as well. So the company has borrowed some short-term funds at around 6% odd in terms of yields to stock up inventory for commodities. So they're hedging themselves against commodity inflation. Loans receivable, that was one of the concern in the previous time as well. So 1121 crore was the loan receivables in March, and that has come down to around 842 crore. So that's telling you there is some repayment. So that's a positive. However, the big question mark still remains long-term investments. That has jumped from around 1,000 crores to 1443 crores. Now the big question is, where has this money gone? Is this some fresh investment that the company has made, or is it the short-term loans receivable which has reduced and the company has recognized it as long-term? So that is one question that we'll probably ask the management in the con call, which takes place on Friday. But valuation wise, while Nestle and all of them trade at around 60, 62 times, 56 times for HUL, Britannia trades at around 49 times. Not cheap, but they still have some headroom there.
But Mangla, why did they come out with the con call on Friday? I mean, why are they taking so many days? I'm just wondering. Unless they're enjoying the midweek break or something.
I guess maybe the management would be traveling because yesterday was a holiday, etc. So I did pose a question to that: why is the con call so late? Because of maybe management traveling.
Yeah, all right. Well, first up,
they're enjoying a biscuit, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All right. First up, let's run you through all the top stories of this Britannia. Manglam just told us that's top gain on the Nifty today after the company reports its highest ever EBITDA in a quarter. The net profit jumps 33% on the back of better than expected EBITDA and lower tax expenses.
Sun TV, that's the one that sees a cut of over 6% after the second quarter results miss expectations. In fact, ad revenue contracted 4%. Management commentary on ad revenue remains bleak as they expect to deliver just flat growth in FY20. The stock now at the low point of the day with a cut of almost 10%.
An auto farmer gains today on the back of a good showing in the second quarter. The management says that they should receive the FTC consent on the Sandoz deal in the next few weeks. They also guide on reducing their net debt.
A handful of stocks gaining on the back of good second quarter earnings. We have Bharat Dynamics, Hind Rectifiers and Hindustan Aeronautics, all of them gaining anywhere between 5 to 10%.
Well, there are some weak numbers coming in there. Venky's India and Adani Enterprises see a cut of more than 5% each on the back of a weak showing in the second quarter.
All right, we were talking about heavyweights like TCS and Reliance doing well. Hindalco's jumped as well. Nigel, you said the standalone numbers look better than what the street was working with. And we have Tata Steel and Tata Motors moving higher as well. Nifty flattened out, but still outperforming the other Asian indices. So how should you deal with your positions in the market? Should you initiate one or not? We have Ruchit Jain joining in for a quick technical check. Ruchit, good morning. Your view on the indices and individual stocks?
Yeah, hi, very good morning. Well, in fact, we see in the last 7 to 8 trading sessions, the market have been trading in the narrow range of 11,850 to 12,000 on the higher side. Now, this 150 points range which has been developed, there are no signs of reversal of the trend. So we are taking this as just a time-wise correction within an uptrend. And once this time correction is over, we believe that markets would resume its up move towards its all-time high. So on the lower side, 11,850 is a good support. So any decline towards that 11,850, 11,870 range could then be used as a good buying opportunity. So we are positive from a positional perspective. It's just that from a very short term or intraday perspective, the indices are stuck in a range. So it's better to take a buy on dip near 11,850, 870 range. Now, as far as stock ideas are concerned, two sectors firstly which have been showing outperformance since last few days, and we expect this outperformance to continue. One is the metals and other is the realty. So within the metal space, we have a buy on Tata Steel. A high top, high bottom structure could be seen on the daily as well as the weekly chart now. Even the Nifty Realty Index, even a Nifty Metal Index have been forming this high top, high bottom structure. We expect this stock to test its 200-day moving average soon, and then a next leg of up move in the broader markets. We are anticipating that metals would show a good outperformance. So Tata Steel could be bought for short term with stop below 387, expecting target around 440. And from the realty space, Oberoi Realty is the one stock to watch out for. Although the stock has not shown any momentum in last few days along with the broader participation from the realty market, but the stock is on the verge of breakout from a falling trendline resistance which is placed around 532. So one can take a buy recommendation above 532. It's not too far from current levels. So above 532, we advise to go long on Oberoi Realty with stop below 503, expecting near-term target around 572.
Okay, all right, Richie. Thanks so much for joining and giving us those details. Well, Mangalam, in terms of the Nifty and the Nifty Bank, today the Nifty is doing a relative outperformance. But in the last 1 month or so, the Nifty Bank is up nearly around 11%.
Right.
The Nifty is up nearly around 6%. A month ago, we were saying that the Nifty Bank is a distance away from its all-time high. Well, now, in fact, both of them are close to around 1.5 to around 2% away from its all-time high. So the Nifty Bank has seen a big run in the last 1 month, and today it's giving back some of that. And few of these stocks, Yes Bank, everyone's talking about a deal yesterday.
Right.
That didn't happen. The stock is under some pressure. It's come off from the high point of the day, so keep an eye out on that one. And a couple of these heavyweights as well. HDFC Bank, that's trading in the red, and when that moves into the red, that's 30% of the Nifty Bank that's in the red. And in fact, that's not participated actually in the last 1 month or so. So that's putting some pressure on the Nifty Bank.
All right, Nigel, before we check into that break, just pull up Indian Hotels. That one's at the high point of the day. I think a 52-week high on the back of a good set of numbers as well. So we'll keep eyeing individual stocks, but we check into that break, come back, and we have Hindalco reporting a mixed set of numbers in the second quarter. We'll get chatting with Satish Pai, who's the managing director of the company.